Most designers plateau, and it's not because they're bad, it's because they stop doing these important few things. Today I want to show you the 3 things that help my growth as a designer more than anything else. And don't worry, they're not trendy tools or portfolio hacks, they're really foundational and they compound like crazy. Earlier in my career, I kept running into this one issue. The websites that I designed, when they got developed, they just felt off and they weren't really matching what I had designed. This was earlier before you had Figma or Sketch. This is when you designed websites in things like Illustrator or Photoshop. And then once you designed them, you would hand them over to a developer to build. And as I was saying, things would feel off. The font would feel strange, the spacing wouldn't feel correct, the layouts on mobile were different. And I'd get really frustrated because I would feel like I've done a good job and then the final product wasn't really showing the best that it should be. So I really wanted to understand more how websites actually got built. I wanted a better understanding of what constraints were the developers working with? What should I be aware of? I wanted to understand what tools they were using and how they actually received my designs and how they looked into them and kind of took them apart. I really wanted to understand all of this so I could become a better designer. So I started digging around. I watched YouTube videos, I started playing with code editors, I started understanding tech stacks, and eventually I found this software called Webflow. And I really just started digging into it. I just messed around with it in my own time. No deadlines, no client expectations, no briefs that I was trying to hit. It was really just pure curiosity. And that curiosity really changed everything for me. Because from that, I started designing differently. I had a better understanding of how layouts actually worked and how websites were built. I was better at understanding limitations, and I was much better at actually talking and collaborating with developers with those limitations. I wasn't at their level, but I just had a better understanding of how to collaborate with them. And I was doing this all outside my regular job. This was just late nights, exploring, having fun, and just really trying to learn more. This is the first important skill I see you need to have as a designer to stay ahead, is staying curious. The world of design is constantly changing. New tools, new user patterns. You need to be able to be okay with this, embrace it if you want to stay ahead. Even if you look at job descriptions these days, a lot of them, an expectation is that you have an understanding of basic HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now without point 2, this one isn't actually very useful yet. Now back to an earlier stage in my career, I remember the first time a client asked me, can I design and develop their website? And I said yes without even thinking. And then I thought, can I actually develop a website? But because I had been curious and I had found this tool called Webflow and I had spent a lot of time understanding it. So even though I didn't understand it 100% yet, it was enough for me to learn as I went along. And through developing this website and this project, this actually unlocked quite a good freelance business for me for a while to be able to actually design websites and then develop them as well within Webflow. The trap that designers fall into here that I see is that they stay curious, but they don't actually take the next step to actually upskill it all. It's one thing to tinker and explore, but to actually take the next step and build on top of it is something else. That next step might be following along with practical guides or taking courses so that you're actually confident to use the skill. It's about being intentional with it instead of just the theory side. The skill here is the power of upskilling, not coasting on what you already know. The designers who grow faster and stay ahead are the ones who invest in themselves. The industry of design is constantly changing, so you actually just have to accept that if this is somewhere that you want to work. I found that upskilling actually helps turn that curiosity into career progression that's more tangible. Now without this last skill, these first 2 are good, but this last skill really does help supercharge it. Earlier in my career, I had some design work that I had to present internally. I had my presentation all set and ready, I walked through with it, and it fell very flat. The feedback was okay, but there was lots of comments and remarks about things that could be changed or that should be improved, and it led to more rework than it needed to be done. And it wasn't because the work was bad, it was just because I didn't do a good job at selling the ideas. Then the crazy thing was, someone more senior than me presented the same work, and the response they got was really amazing. The thing that blew my mind is that it was the same work, but just the way that they wrapped it up and managed to sell the ideas, they did such a better job at it. They pre-answered possible questions by talking about decisions and why things were done, and they really just did a better job of wrapping it up and showing the package of the work. And at the end of that, there was very minimal feedback. There was just a lot of, it looks really good. And this really showed me that something was missing. I had done really good work, but there was really something missing with the work landing. And this last skill is really about, as you progress in your design career, you find that soft skills are sometimes more important than the hard skills. As you grow to a more senior level of a designer and the projects naturally get bigger, there'll be more time spending collaborating, presenting work, managing stakeholders, instead of just purely design work. A side note, the hard skills are super important. Knowing how to design should be the first thing you master, but don't neglect the other side, because the soft skills are really what lets the hard skills land, and they really help elevate your work. So a big recommendation in the last skill that I have here is that really invest the time earlier at getting better at these soft skills. Be comfortable presenting work, being able to actually explain why you made decisions, the ability to communicate and rationalize your decisions, working with feedback and how you actually manage that, and being able to have tough conversations with clients or co-workers is really important. If you can take these 3 skills, they really compound, they will take you far. But if you're looking for more foundational UI tips, watch this video next.